Welcome to Conversation with the Community Leader, brought to you by the Leadership-Kitsap Foundation. I'm your host and Leadership-Kitsap alum, David Walters. With me today, I have Dedra Miller, Executive Director of the Holly Ridge Center. So thank you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So founded in 1963, the Holly Ridge Center's mission is to enable children and adults with disabilities to reach their fullest potential, creating a positive and lasting impact on our community. So we have so much to talk about today, but before we talk about the amazing things Holly Ridge does, let's talk about you. So where are you originally from?
I would love to start with our new mission.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please.
Yes, our new mission is to create opportunities to empower people with disabilities to reach their fullest potential.
Okay.
And that's a very intentional mission that we created together as language around the disability community evolves and changes, and the euphemism of differing abilities is now out of favor. So that's one part of Holly Ridge's mission, is to be always listening to the community that we serve, and that's something that we have done.
Oh, that is great. You need to update your website then.
It is.
I copied it. All right. So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Southern California. I moved up to the Northwest when I was 11. Shortly after seeing Return of the Jedi, I felt like I was moving to the moon. Endor. I fell in love with Western Washington immediately, and I just cannot imagine living anywhere else.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then what's your educational background?
My educational background started much later in life, and in fact, I had gone back to school shortly before joining Holly Ridge and their accounting department. So I went straight to work out of high school, as was kind of the tradition with my family. My family were a long line of hard-working folks who college was not necessarily the focus. Okay. So I went straight to work, and during 2007, 2008, I was a stay-at-home mom who was running my own business. I had a licensed in-home daycare at that time, and I was doing quite well, making the mortgage and taking care of my own children, and learning to do a Schedule C with my own taxes. And our economy changed during that time, and I went back to school and I got an accounting degree at Clover Park. I highly recommend the community college experience. It's fantastic. I learned a lot there, and that took me to my first position at Holly Ridge in their accounting department. Okay. And then I pursued my bachelor's degree in business management through WGU as a single mom, full-time, working still at Holly Ridge. And during that time, I was also diagnosed with ADHD. And so that was an interesting thing to learn about myself while I was juggling so many things at one time. And it really kind of opened my eyes to what neurodivergence looks like in the workplace for myself and for folks that we serve at Holly Ridge, and my coworkers as well sometimes. So it's kind of an interesting but unconventional path, I would say.
And then so you came to Holly Ridge in 2008?
In 2011.
Oh, through 2011, into their accounting department.
I sure did.
And then, so how do you go from the accounting department doing the numbers to the executive director?
Well, between accounting and executive director, I worked in the HR department, and I learned a lot doing HR. So in the accounting department, I did accounts payable and accounts receivable. I learned about, balancing the books for the business under our business and finance director, and I learned a lot about our contracts because I was reading the contracts that I was managing. And then from the HR seat, I got to really learn about all of our positions, recruiting for those positions, got me kind of that inside look into what supports that all of my coworkers needed. So I've always been a support role at Holly Ridge, and really the executive director position is just that. So I'm still in a supporting role, and I have kind of a unique perspective on how to support the staff at Holly Ridge through those two positions. So I'm really grateful for that experience.
Yeah, it's interesting to really know the ins and outs of the business. And then, did you always want to be the executive director after you started there?
No. When I started there, I enjoyed working in the accounting department, and also I tend to get distracted. So sometimes I was not in my seat, and I was poking into different projects, fundraising events, and I liked to be involved in every aspect of the organization. I loved what we were doing. It had been a while since I had been in the workplace outside of my own business and my own home. So I was excited to be on deck, and I was excited to be around folks who really believed in what they were doing, and it was quite contagious. I fell in love with Holly Ridge really from the beginning, and I just knew I wanted to be involved in everything. Not necessarily that I wanted to ladder climb or, be the boss, because the boss really was never my focus or intention, but just what can I do to support the folks that are doing amazing work here.
Yes. So what is the primary role of Holly Ridge? And I mean, we went over the mission statement, which is amazing. But when the rubber meets the road, what does Holly Ridge do?
So we have two service programs. We have an infant toddler program, and we are the only neurodevelopmental center on the entire Olympic Peninsula. So we serve families with little ones birth to 3 years old who have a disability or a developmental delay, or maybe a little one who should be talking but isn't quite talking yet. We see all of those children at Holly Ridge. Every child is eligible to have an evaluation with us. You do not need a doctor's referral, although we do get quite a few of those. But mom or dad or grandma can give us a call, and we can talk about little one's development, and if there are any concerns, and do a developmental screening. And if a little one qualifies for our services, all children are served regardless of their ability to pay. So we have our early support services. We have funding that is blended between governmental funding, medical billing, and fundraising. So all of our kids get served.
Okay. Now, for your kids, is it Kitsap County? You do dive into Mason County.
Yeah, we serve all of Kitsap County, North Mason, and I believe we have a child or two right now in touching the edges of Jefferson County as well.
Outstanding.
So wherever we're needed, we are all
You'll
over
figure
the
it out?
peninsula. We absolutely are.
And how many families do you have that take advantage of this program?
We are growing. Right now, we have 500 families in services.
And you said this was a big jump.
This is a huge jump. In early 2020, before our stay-at-home order, we were seeing 315 a month. Right now, we are very much stretched at that 500.
Did you have to increase your staff proportionally?
We are trying to, and that's our biggest challenge right now is recruiting staff. It's actually the biggest challenge, I believe, in Kitsap County right now is recruitment for medical professionals and social services. We're at a huge shortage, and that makes things pretty tough. But we are meeting the need, and we do know we've got another boat coming in, so we're ready to make sure all of these kids have an opportunity to be in services.
Let's talk about the Navy impact real fast. So, Naval Base Kitsap is kind of special as far as naval bases go, correct?
Yes, this is an exceptional family member port, and folks who have a need, like their child needs birth to 3 early support services, they can come to Bremerton and know that Holly Ridge is here to support the child and their family.
So they will get stationed. They will get stationed in Bremerton specifically because you guys are here.
Yep.
Wow.
They sure will.
That's an impact.
It is, and it's a hard one because it fluctuates. Of course, we have boats coming in and going out all the time, so that impacts our services. And then
so you have the birth through 3. And you also have adults clients.
We sure do. I like to explain it like we kind of bookend the public school experience. So little ones will be in services with us from 0 to 3. At 3 years old, they will transition to the school district if they still qualify for special services. And when they leave the school district experience, they can come back to Holly Ridge and receive services for employment. So we have an adult employment services program, and it is very robust. We have folks working all over the county, and we provide job supports for folks.
And how many adult clients do you have?
Right now we have 94.
94? Wow.
Yes. And it's kind of exciting because we've been in the community for so long. Sometimes our little ones, like I said, we're those bookends, right? So some of our clients, our adult clients, came through Holly Ridge as a little one, and they're with us now. And let me tell you, when we get those phone calls, it's incredibly exciting. Oh, yeah. It's like a coming home.
Right.
To
See how
Holly
far
Ridge.
they've come. And
Yep. And so a family might be with us for 30 years or more, because we have folks who also have employment services and retire still with Holly Ridge. So that's pretty exciting. We do have folks that have worked with us long enough, say maybe 36 years, and have worked in both of our infant toddler program and now our adult program. So we have a gal named Helen, and she is actually supporting adults in our community on their job sites right now that she had in classes as a little one when they were in the infant toddler program. So it's pretty special.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
And then so for the employment, do you partner with other organizations? And how do you partner with other organizations? Because obviously you must.
Yes, we partner with a lot of organizations. St. Vincent de Paul's is a great partner. They provide not only employment for a few of our clients that have interviewed with them, but they also are a job site where they allow us to come in and do a community-based assessment. So have a client try out a job or try out some skills out in the real world. But really, we're knocking on doors all over the county. We're looking to have our adult clients work in a field of their own interest and their own choice. So if they're interested in a business, we're knocking on the door. And
actively pursuing them.
Absolutely. So that it's a lot of footwork. It's a lot of education. So we provide that education for employers, what supported employment could look like in their business.
So if an organization would want a supported employee, go to your website? How do they do that?
Yeah, they can come to our website. They can
that's definitely a way the community can become involved.
Absolutely. We encourage business owners, HR departments, anybody who's looking to diversify their workforce or just improve productivity at their business. Give us a call or go to our website.
It's also a great way for them to give back to our community.
Absolutely, but it's a really good business decision because folks with disabilities, if you look at the data, very reliable, show up on time. The turnover with folks with disabilities is far lower.
Oh, okay. And great employees.
They are fantastic employees, and all of the on-the-job training is provided by our job coaches. So if something changes on the job site, and there's additional training that needs to happen, we come back in and provide that training as well. And that
so it's a total win-win for the employee
absolutely.
And the employer.
It absolutely is. There's a great business case for it, and also it's the right thing to do. Having everybody included in our community, disability or not, it's important for everybody to have meaningful work and community connection.
How is Holly Ridge funded?
So we're funded a lot of different ways. We have grants, we have some governmental funding, we have funding through Kitsap County Department of Developmental Disabilities, and we do a lot of fundraising, and we also do some medical billing. So our finances are as diversified as we can possibly get them. You know, depending
as
on
many
just
different
one
sources as you can
is
find.
really difficult. And and of course, you know, when you're funded on any governmental contract, those rates are set until they are changed through the legislature, and that can't possibly
keep
stay
up with
pace.
prices and
Right. It can't stay in pace with inflation and those kinds of things. So, you know, it's chronically something that we have to proactively work at.
And Holly Ridge Center, you're a standalone organization, correct? You're not part of a national organization. You're by yourself, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So you rely solely on what you guys bring in to.
That's right. That's right. We are a private nonprofit, and we certainly partner with our community partners, and that's kind of the beautiful thing about Kitsap County is nonprofits in Kitsap County, we work together, and
that's been a theme I've gotten through this show.
Yes.
With our leaders.
And I don't know if that is everywhere. I moved here from King County and Pierce County, and I never was as involved in the community until I came to Kitsap County. Of course, I was much more exposed to the concept of community partners and those things at Holly Ridge. But I'm so impressed with the closeness of a county. We have a small town feel, but it's county-wide. And the folks who are trying to do right by the citizens in Kitsap County, we all like to work together and support each other, and that is really exciting to me.
And you have an interesting partnership about to start. Can we talk about that?
Yes,
Okay.
I would love to. I believe we're starting this week, but we have a partnership blossoming right now with Kitsap Community Resources. Of course, we've always been community partners, but they are going to have an early Head Start classroom at Holly Ridge at our Taylor Road location, where our kiddos will be involved and the early Head Start kiddos will be involved, which creates a truly inclusive classroom environment, which is
just
always
great for
our
everybody's
goal.
learning.
Right. Total inclusion is our goal, whether it's employment or in the classroom, and all. I mean, we should all be playing at the playground together. We should all be working together. We should all be learning together. So I'm really excited for that to start. Our families are excited, and our staff are excited. So there's a lot of energy right now buzzing around that project.
And that's going to be in October.
Yes, we're doing, I think, a couple trial runs this month.
Okay.
I think one of them this week, and then growing together, KCR and Holly Ridge.
That's exciting.
Is going to be
That's
on
super.
deck
That's
this
super
October.
neat.
Yes.
So if someone was interested in employment with Holly Ridge,
Yes.
what are you looking for staff?
We need speech language pathologists.
Okay.
We need speech language pathology assistants. We have physical therapists. We have occupational therapists. Did you know there was such a thing as an occupational therapist for 0 to 3?
No,
I didn't know that before I started at Holly Ridge either. We have early childhood education folks. All of our teachers have Washington State certifications and a special education endorsement as well. So we're always looking for those folks as well.
Now, some of those jobs are highly specialized with specific
All
degrees.
All of them have very specialized degrees and certifications and experience.
What about a young person that would like to? Would you take a recent high school graduate as an employee?
Yes, and we have some entry-level positions like we have front desk positions. We have positions more support positions for younger folks, but we also love to have interns.
Okay.
So folks who are in a program right now with a local college.
Are interested in that for their career, come do an
Yes,
internship with you?
absolutely. So internships, we love to do that. We love to develop our own workforce, and we're looking for ways to kind of expand in that and make sure that we have, folks coming to us for years to come.
How many employees do you have?
Right now, I believe we are at 84 with 6 or 7 positions open.
84 people, 500 families, and 94 adults, clients.
Yes.
You guys are busy.
We are working so hard. Both the programs are they're doing their absolute best to meet the needs. There's a lot of need in this community, and we're not turning anybody away. That's not what we do. So we are doing our very best to meet that need and being as creative as we possibly can to do that.
So what are some of your biggest challenges?
That right there.
Filling positions?
Filling positions and capacity to meet a very fluctuating need, whether we've got boats coming into town or not. A lot of folks need our services, and we're trying to meet that. So that's probably our biggest, for sure.
So moving on to leadership, because you are a graduate of Leadership Kitsap. Who influenced you as a leader? And did you have a mentor when you were coming up in Holly Ridge?
Lots of mentors. I looked up to everybody on our leadership team. I looked up to my coworkers. What I saw early on at Holly Ridge was that it didn't matter the age of an individual. People were going back to school all the time, and it was just out of this voracious curiosity and wanting to get better at what they do.
So you have a real learning organization then.
Absolutely, and it's highly encouraged.
That's a great culture to build.
And everybody learns from each other. So the infant toddler program, it's an interdisciplinary. So you might have a speech therapist and a special educator. They're sharing information with each other. PTs are letting their team know like how they're working with the little one. They have case conferences where every discipline is in the room discussing each and every child that's in services. So our families really benefit from all of these different people with a different expertise working with their family, but the team gets that same benefit where they're hearing how the other professionals on their team are working with our children. So everyone is incredibly
that's got to be super encouraging for the team.
Yeah, the curiosity is it's amazing how just voracious they are.
And then how do you develop your staff? Because you talked about you're really a learning organization where you've built this culture of people always seeking to learn more. How do you foster that, and how do you keep that going as a leader in your role?
Well, even from the HR seat, when we were recruiting, one of the things that you do during an interview, right, is to go over like the benefits that you have, the health benefits and this. And the thing I always added to our benefit package is the opportunity to learn. We send people to specialized trainings according to their expertise, but we also learn from each other. So if somebody goes and learns something great, they bring it back to the whole group. So we'll have like what's called an in-service where everybody benefits from what that person brought back, but always looking for opportunities to develop our folks professionally so that our services are always on the cutting edge, but also understanding that each and every person who is working at Holly Ridge, they have their individual career as well, and supporting their career growth is incredibly important.
So it sounds like besides just a great place to work because of your mission, because your mission is second to none, you've really got a great culture, a great place to be an employee of.
Yes, and I mean, the proof of that is in the fact that folks will stay with us 10, 20, 30 years. And so there's a wide range of support when you come to work at Holly Ridge. As somebody new in your field, you can sit right next to somebody who has been in the field for 30 years. So you have the benefit of both
working
worlds,
with
right?
the experts.
Yeah, the folks that are just coming out of school always have something to share with the folks that have been in the field for a long time. And of course, nothing replaces real world experience, which looks different than classroom and book experience. So everybody's learning from each other all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having
and
me.
the time flew because there's so many exciting things to talk about.
Yes.
So I'd like to thank you and all the amazing thing Holly Ridge does for our community. So you and your staff, just fantastic job. So thank you for joining me on Conversation with Community Leader. Please go to hollyridge.org and of course leadershipkitsap.org for information about these two amazing organizations. Thank you.